Yo, 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 yo. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to my brother, the Book of Ronan. Of course, I'm your host, DS1 Ross. We are back here on FMP. That's the Foundational Manhood Podcast. Foundational Manhood Podcast. Shout out to everyone who support the podcast. And we are back with episode 8, Woke Apnea. Let's get into it. Shout out to everyone. We are back here with episode 8 of Foundational Manhood Podcast. That's FMP. Make sure y'all go follow us on Instagram at Foundational Manhood Podcast. Y'all can also find us on YouTube, Foundational Manhood Podcast. We're back here with episode 8. Shout out to my brother, the Book of Ronan. And here's your 5-minute fire watch.
Yes, it's brought to you by DJ Expat Matt, and I'm talking my shit today. So now, two of the major problems we deal with, among many, is digital dick riding and cyberspace click kissers. So I'm going to start with the ladies. There's a lot of ladies out here who subscribe to, promote, and repeat the negative narratives from these edgeless oracles, these crunchy foot Carlas, all these internet charlatans who promote these ass backwards messages to keep this agenda war going and to keep ourselves second guessing everything we think of and do. This is why a lot of women out here are very illiterate when it comes to their femininity. This is why they suffer from plastic truck nuts disorder, assuming that they can do everything that men were built to do. And when they reap the consequences or accountability is put in their face, they short circuit. They don't know what to do. Now, as far as the fellas, this digital dick riding has to stop. Because it puts you in the same boat as these bald-headed chicken heads who claim to know everything. When you got guys who praise, worship, tattoo the images of their internet idols on their bodies, this shows the level of depravity and disorder that's going on out here that's gone mainstream. So the thing is, a lot of individuals are addicted to the dopamine of dumb shit under the guise of certain pills. Now, certain pills and medication were meant to alleviate certain symptoms, diseases, disorders to an extent. But when it comes to you being high or chasing that high, this makes you an internet junkie. This makes you a digital dopehead or dope fiend. And you will do any and everything to get that next fix. This is why the lies of a conflict creator are fought over. You'll have people who will extend their debt and their reach, trying to support shitbirds who don't mean them any well. But for whatever price they put out there, you have people who aspire to seek answers, whore themselves out to protect these pieces of shit who will sell you out for less than a fucking cheeseburger. When it comes to this conversation we're going to have today, this is what leads you into being these little cyberspace cults, tied in to a lot of the goofy shit that happens on and offline. And if you're not prepared or you fail to use your foresight, don't hold back those tears when they come with the RICO case or they find a way to tie you into these shitbirds who've been robbing you at first, lying to you second, but put you in harm's way just so they can get paid or get a like or a subscription. Either you're a digital dick rider or you're a cyberspace click kisser. You got to value yourselves. Stop tossing the salads of people who can't even get outside to meet you face to face. Say the shit they say to other people or about people to their face. This is what promotes keyboard cowardice. And when you have an army of internet assholes who are afraid of their own shadow, can't stand on shit, and live these lifestyles, which if you have a billion roommates, none of you motherfuckers could afford the rent. Think about everything you're losing and listening to these shitbirds who don't mean you any good. This is why we say here and abroad, if your actions, words, and intent don't work in concert, it's all bullshit. So you can quote these conflict creators all you want. But when you're in the face of public opinion, fighting for your life, I want you to look those shitbirds in the eye and see what they say when they set you in front of the firing squad to say their motherfucking selves. That's been your 5-minute fire watch.
Man, that was fire. That was real fire right there, my brother.
Thank you, sir.
Shout out to you, bro. See?
Take that digital dick out your mouth.
Well, today, bro, see the title, episode 8, Woke Apnea. Woke apnea.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you came up with this title, bro, and when you first said it, because you said this for about months now, and I was like, it's genius, because we come from the era of the conscious community.
Yes, sir.
Where the conscious community, the Black conscious community, was a pillar for about a good 15 years.
Yeah, it's a good number. Good number.
Yeah. Because when you think about it, bro, the conscious community kind of shaped and molded Black YouTube.
Facts.
Because a lot of the guys either started in the conscious community or started debating the conscious community, whether it was from the political aspect, whether it was from the religious aspect. So this is how you got guys like what you see on a thumbnail. You know, this is how you got guys like Umar. This is how you got guys like Polite, Sarah Seti, Shaka Amos. You know, these guys were brought to you in part by Side Nigga TV or Sinetta or the House of Consciousness.
Side nigga.
Side Nigga TV. You know, where at one point they homed the intellectual nigga.
Yeah.
You know. And that's why I thought this topic was genius, because I've been saying for years, and I just haven't used this word, but the conscious community and the characters that played in the conscious community is part of the reason why right now Black people are dealing with woke apnea.
Yeah.
Now, since you came up with the word, bro, tell everyone, what is woke apnea?
Well, with me being a military man, and I'm saying this is part of the medical part, dealing with sleep apnea and being diagnosed to where if I sat back about 30 degrees, my tongue would cover my esophagus. And I had a sleep study done. And in that hour, I had over 60 episodes where there was, I was being diagnosed, and that's why I've been, being compensated for. Now, as far as woke apnea, this whole woke deal is not old, but when you have people thinking that they're aware for the moment, but when it comes to these calls of actions to get shit done, that's where the apnea comes in. The episodes pop up. Now they act like they can't do anything. Now you get armchair revolutionaries, or the mighty morphin conscious rangers are allowed to do what they do. And people sit on the sideline, and yeah, they'll sit in chat rooms and whatnot. And when it comes to like rebuilding your communities, or what they refer to as communita, if we actually put ourselves into action, we'll be able to like turn these ethnic outposts that we dwell in and try to survive in into actual functioning and thriving communities. You know, you go out here and you see all the things we deal with and what we speak on: constant threats of extinction, negative media portrayal, things with the fathers, jobs, just mental health, everything out here. And you have opportunists who, give you some very poetic bullshit often. And they'll hypnotize. Basically, they'll charm resources and time out of people who too lazy to take a stand for themselves and the cause that they should be backing, which is the embetterment of our people and themselves. So that's why I came with the whole thing with woke apnea. For a hot minute, they'll sound like they're aware. They'll repeat talking points. But when it comes down to it, they just have episodes where they'll go right back to fucking sleep. Right back to your regularly scheduled bullshit programming.
Facts, bro. And I'm glad you broke it down, because people are gonna want to know what it is. But it's very descriptive on what has actually happened as a result of the conscious community. It shows just how much we're sleepwalking.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And we have to speak about this because we have to charge and blame Black men for that, because Black men were leading the conscious community.
Yeah.
We have to blame the players who done this, because it has created I like to say a mental, like, it kind of crippled or disabled a certain generation now mentally.
Yeah.
Now today, Black consciousness is like, I wouldn't say null and void, but it's
been cheapened.
Yes, it's been it's definitely been like siphoned out, or like just pushed into the corner. Like how you sweep dirt, like how you know how some people cheat when they clean up their house, so they'll sweep the dirt under the couch.
Yeah.
That's kind of what like Black consciousness is now. It's like a hashtag or a logo or a clothing line. It's not what it was supposed to become due to the actions of these men. So what do you think about that, bro?
It works twofold. Like, again, it's like when it comes to consciousness, it pays major dividends to know who you are. And if you know where you came from and what you're about, you'll do everything to protect and support that. And we grew up at a time where when we went to school, where we had the music, and I was listening to X Clan, Poor Righteous Teachers, with the music, it just resonated. And we had our apparel where we had the African medallions. When you had the time where you had gear that had the Looney Tunes with the colleges on there. You seen how powerful that was when the Cosby Show was around. Everybody had Hillman or whatever school they was representing. That was major. But now you have a lot of these charlatans who turn consciousness into a hypnotic suggestion where they lull people to sleep while they break your spirit and enter your place of residence and take your resources and your credibility.
And that within itself is wicked, man.
It is evil.
Because that is actually what the conscious community turned into. It turned into basically a messed up version of a religious institution.
Yeah.
Where you just come to hear feel good shit. We take your money and then you go back to sleep.
Yeah.
But you walk around and you profess as if you're woke. This is why I said I love the word woke apnea, because because my dad, for a while, rest in peace.
Yeah.
He dealt with sleep apnea.
Mm-hmm.
And when he would have the episodes, I would wake him up.
Yeah.
And he would, every time he'll wake up, he'll be like, I'm woke. I'd be like, Dad, you was not woke.
Yeah.
Like you was completely out of it with your mouth open and everything.
Yeah.
And you was not breathing. This is why I woke you up. Well, I'm up now. I'm up.
Yeah.
That is a sign of sleep apnea.
Yeah.
And this is what the conscious community created in a lot of Black people today. Well, I'm woke. I'm woke. But you still treat your brother like shit.
Yeah.
How you woke? How you woke, but you hate Black women?
How you woke and you hate Black men?
How you woke and you hate Black men? How you woke and you hate your mama?
How you woke when you're inviting everybody to the cookout, and not only you running out of food, but you're getting ran out the fucking cookout?
Exactly. They don't even want you there. The people you invited don't even want you there.
And they left you with a potato salad with the raisins in it.
And 2 pieces of burnt corn.
And a booger.
Right. On a napkin.
On a napkin. How you woke and you're living in ethnic outposts. You don't know your neighbors. You can't trust your neighbors with your children, obviously. How you doing that?
How are you woke when you speak on the same system that oppress your brothers, but then you walk into those people who invest all of the money that you give them to invest into the oppression of your brothers? How you support a Gucci?
Yeah.
How do you support all of these companies that invest in your demise if you're woke?
How you woke and you don't own the businesses in your community, or community. How you woke and you don't even have banks. You don't even have neighborhood watch. You don't have a community garden. You don't have all the things that will support the identity of you being awake. How are you justified in still snoring on social media Wow. And when I was diagnosed with sleep apnea, X at the time, she woke me up. I said, "What the hell's going on? You weren't breathing for a whole minute." That's what she told me. That literally scared the shit out of me. So look, I had to go get diagnosed. And once it's sobering to find out when you have sleep apnea. But that's the problem. When you have woke apnea, you don't see yourself or what you're dealing with as the fucking problem. So you just, you know what? I don't need a CPAP. I don't need an oral appliance. I'm good. But the fucked up thing about sleep apnea is if you don't address it, it leads to cardiovascular issues. And it'd be one time when you lay your head down, you don't wake up.
Mm-hmm. See, what y'all got to understand about woke apnea and what the conscious community has done and the players has done is they have found a way to convince you to beautifully nurture your negative narrative. See, because the example of that is Brother Polite.
Yeah.
See, he told you, you was never a slave. You was never this. You was never that. You don't come from this. You don't come from that. Look what I'm wearing. I got on gold shoes. Look at me. I drive this. Look at my wives. When all he did was convince you to be a consumer. And a consumer is nothing but a slave. Because consumerism is based around a man who nurtures their negative narrative.
Yes, sir.
A man who's spiritually castrated. So he begins to search outside of himself for things to validate who he is.
And his faith is flaccid.
Right. Because he puts his faith in what he puts on, what he wears. And this is what Brother Polite ushered into the consciousness of Black people to keep us stuck. Because now, where's Polite? You don't even see a hair about him. It's how you know these guys are agents and actors and entertainers who are purposely placed around us.
Yeah.
He probably somewhere pimping.
Possibly.
You see what
and how are you woke when you openly promote smoke and mirrors and not tangible results?
Exactly. Because that's the apnea part. The apnea part. The apnea part is you having digital girlfriends to say to try to prove to everybody that you're this kind of guy. Like this is the type of shit that is going on and has been ushered into the minds of Black people, and it is played out every day on Black YouTube.
Yeah.
The whole debate aspect came from the conscious community. The whole concept of getting on a panel and debating and pulling up facts and going to this book and this book said this and doctor this said that, all that came from the conscious community. Which ultimately created division amongst men. Because it kept us factioned off. Well, these guys are the Hebrews, these are the Hoteps, these are the Muslims, you know, these are the Christian guys, and these are these guys, and these are these guys. It kept us factioned off. Which is why today you hear a bunch of black men saluting rugged individualism because that's what factions lead to.
Yeah.
That's what it leads to. That's that. Look at what happened to the mob. All of these factions, when they end up in court, everybody realizes every man for themselves. Once niggas start telling on each other, giving each other up, sleeping with each other wives, putting hits on each other, they all realize, man, it's every man for himself. We were never unified. We were never together. And this is what we saw in the conscious community. This is what the conscious community showed black men.
Yeah. But you know, bro, it's like we're both wrestling fans. We grew up that way. At least with wrestling, you knew what it was.
Right.
And plus, they had better storylines. They had better characters. Hell, they had credible finishing moves for the most part. This right here, how many years have we been waiting for an institution for our boys? How many? It's a lot of wrestling promos you see out here, well, conscious promos. We're going to do this, we this. I mean, let's be honest. We see a lot of Pan-African panhandling out here. Spitting in the face of those who actually got out there and was doing things, who suffered real consequences, stood on their shit. But now you're just getting this historic hand job or a revisionist reach around. But you tell me, man.
Hey, I totally agree. Because Brother Polite came in and told us what? Black men's problem is poverty. Black men's problem is because you broke. See, we had Kevin Samuels before we had Kevin Samuels. His name is Polite.
Yeah. It was Kevin.
That's another.
That's another situation.
And he came along and he told black men what? Black men, I came to get you out of poverty.
Yeah.
And what did he do? He robbed us.
Yeah.
He robbed us. See, he sold us on the idea of financial freedom.
Yeah.
When black men, you got to understand that financial freedom is not one word, it's two words.
Yeah. That freedom ain't free.
Thank you. And he was able to financially come up because he sold you on the illusion of freedom.
Yeah.
Woke apnea.
And there are many hosts when it comes to playing these spiritual shell games.
We know all too well about that.
Yes, sir.
We know all too well about the conscious charlatan.
Yeah.
He could quote Imhotep all goddamn day. But he gonna make you cash out.
Yeah.
You gonna cash out.
Oh, and plus, woke apnea is not limited to the conscious community or con artist community. I'm not going to disrespect the conscious community, but the con artist community, it's not limited there. Some can read scripture. Some can even look the part. That's what you call conscious cosplay. They'll lull you to sleep if you allow them to. And they use your melanin as melatonin to put you back to sleep. If you're not careful.
And see, that is one of the things that they use to cripple us. We black people have become paralyzed by buying into the concept of being woke. Yeah. It has kept us stagnant. I'm woke. I'm woke. I'm woke.
Yeah.
But you still mad at the boy who left you in junior high school. You see? So you see, so my point is when you're dealing with people who have never attempted to heal and to get past certain things and to address their own bullshit that they've been through in their life, you cannot believe that they can ever free you in any possible way, financially, spiritually, in any form or fashion that you're looking for freedom. You cannot think that these people can free you from anything. Number one, they're not transparent.
No. And I'm glad you said that, bro, because like you notice when you sleep, how often do you think about the internal when you sleep? You think about you doing these superhuman things. You're in these events. Either you're dealing with trauma, running from something, or running to something, or having dreams where you're falling. But a lot of people like to have those dreams where they won the lotto, or they're in a position better than where they're at right now, or they're on the way to something. What they want is that mental version of sleep paralysis. You don't need your money like that. This is for a good cause. When really it's a bullshit tax write-off. Certainly, movement doesn't exactly mean progress. Because you see, when you see hamsters doing wind sprints on a hamster wheel, where are they going? It's the same shit. Same shit.
And this is where we're at. This is where we're currently at. We're on the hamster wheel. We're on a treadmill thinking we're actually going somewhere when you're actually just running in place. And for years, us being sold on this woke term just kept us running in place. To where now you have some people who are just waking up for real and actually moving on with their lives, because now they're looking around and they're saying, well, goddamn, Umar's a millionaire, or he's touched millions of dollars. Polite is a millionaire or have touched millions of dollars. All of these people have progressed in their life when I was trying to progress and thinking they can teach me how to progress, when all I did was help them progress.
And to support your argument, it is a punishable offense to wake up. Notice how they treat certain people when people wipe the sleep out their eyes and see what the fuck they're really looking at. And some people like the idea, you notice when you're in that good bed and you don't want to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You heard alarm clock going off, you can slap the shit out of it. But there you are, and you notice you're losing time, losing opportunities. You lose a part of the day where you could just maximize your moments. And you look on the dresser, they didn't even put a 20 on there.
See, and this is when you have to realize, fellas, that you're dealing with woke apnea.
Yeah.
Because if you're not getting what you paid for, then you're being robbed. Just like with sleep apnea, a person is being robbed of rest.
Yeah. Go deeper into that.
So what's happening, fellas, is you're actually being robbed of you coming and wanting to learn. So not only are you being robbed of leadership and guidance, but you're also being robbed of knowledge and being educated.
Yeah.
And this is why now you have a lot of guys who've actually had to go back into the real world and change their lifestyle because they were living the quote unquote woke life, where they were trying to be entrepreneurs and they were trying to do this and that, basically doing what they see dudes in the conscious community done.
Yeah.
And it didn't work for them. So now these guys had to go back to trade school and learn a trade so they could get a job. They had to go back in the world and do low level work and work themselves back up because of them dealing with woke apnea.
Bro, I think we had to go there, but we got to bring up the whole thing with the pills.
Let's get it.
So when it comes to the pills, you notice you're supposed to take certain medication as prescribed, but you had too many junkies who take a handful of pills to remain asleep, to remain immobile, to remain stuck on their negative narratives, not to go outside, not to do anything else to enhance their health, their mobility, the internal values of themselves, and even the external. They don't do any of that shit. Now, we grew up, I mean, we evolved with the promoting ourselves as red pill. It's like you took that pill, seeing things of what they are and acting accordingly, responding accordingly. But a lot of guys take those pills, whatever colors you want, to remain asleep. They don't want to get out of bed. They don't want to go out there and work on themselves. When you take those pills to the extent you start calling emotional intelligence a female trait. And you know what junkies do to get that next high. So you got dudes online or offline who will be these digital dick suckers to get their next fix. Worshiping conflict creators instead of promoting agency, not just for themselves, but their brothers out there at large. But those are my thoughts.
And I'm glad you brought the pills up, because what a lot of these guys forgot is the pill is for you.
Yeah.
The pill isn't for you to now have this mystical knowledge about everyone else.
Yeah.
See, that's part of woke apnea too. And because you have a lot of men today who like to just go around and diagnose everyone else but themselves of their own bullshit.
Speak on that shit.
Well, you were sick, and you were this, and you were that, and you were this, and you were that. All right, bro. Well, who are you? Nigga, you ain't King Jaffe Joe. You are not King Jaffe Joe. You are not Mr. Wonderful.
No.
Last time I checked. So what they forgot about the whole pill aspect is the pill is supposed to change you. A lot of you guys use the pill concept to try to change everyone else and to change the environment, but you never changed.
No.
You want it to be a red pill environment, but you not red pill.
And that's why failure is the new fentanyl.
Woo. Say that again.
Failure is the new fentanyl out here. If you notice in the responses or some of the content that's thrown out there, they'll sit there and peddle failure, and there's a market for it. Where you have actual content creators who have evergreen content and promote you to unfuck yourself. You'll see in the numbers, either they bought by bots, shout out to you bots, or you have individuals who ain't talking about shit. They'll have a whole crowd sitting there listening to bullshit, nothing productive, but they're sitting there like zombies. Or they're basically their whole life and their masculinity is basically on life support because they're hooked to that failure. And failure is a strong, powerful drug if you got a taste for it. But failure, if you think about it, it's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to fix things, especially yourself. But when you're addicted to that high to fail and support your negative narrative, that's why a lot of guys are deleting themselves. Because they basically fail to see the benefit or the necessity of their masculine light. And these motherfuckers will give it to you. Just give me your money. Give me a cash app. And if something happens to you, which we've seen in real time, we might talk about you once or twice, but then shit goes on. I gotta make my money. That's fucked up.
When you was just talking, bro, something came across my mind.
So,
why is it cool today that it's cool today? Like they've made it cool now to be a failure. Just look at some of the posts that you see from guys.
Yeah.
That get so much traction and so much comments, and people feed that shit.
Yeah.
And it's almost it goes back to what I was saying on how people try to use things to try to fix everyone but themselves.
Yeah.
And that is in a high level, having a high level of woke apnea, because how you see shit in everybody else but yourself.
And that's crazy. Because that's just like saying cocaine ain't kosher no more.
Right.
That's right. What it is. Like when you had the movements like true force loneliness. Look, when you're self-realized, you realize you'd rather be alone. You can fill that space if you choose to. It's just your vetting process. When you're lonely, you're needing something. You're fiending for something. And there's quite a guys who've been programmed to fiend for failure. Afraid to try and like they see rejection as a life-ending thing, when really, if you think about it, in most cases, you should be glad you didn't get what you wanted in certain cases. Some guys are paying the consequences of getting everything that they wanted and not reading the fine print on the shit. But what do we know, though? What do we know?
True indeed. True indeed, bro. And the whole purpose of this episode, fellas, is to get you guys to course correct. You do not want to suffer from woke apnea. And this is my final thoughts.
Yeah.
On the whole situation. You do not want to suffer from woke apnea, because just like sleep apnea, it can basically kill you slowly.
Yeah.
And suddenly. And this is what is happening to us as a whole, black men, if you look at it. Look how every day you wake up and a brother could die and then shock you like, damn, he died.
Yeah.
That's the power of woke apnea. Because you think you got it all figured out because you got your money right. You think you got it all figured out, but you neglecting everything else. You're not paying attention how your children don't mess with you. No women want to deal with you. Your colleagues at work don't want to mess with you. It's shit all in your house, but you drive a Porsche. Fellas, the purpose of this episode, man, is to get you guys the course correct and to understand that we have to heal before we build. Because we're our own agency. Because we're the only ones who are going to fix our issues that plague us. And woke apnea is a goddamn, is an antidote that is used to prevent us from fixing those issues. It'll have you thinking you done arrived. Oh, white supremacy ain't real. You just got to get your money up. See, that's woke apnea. The white man ain't never did nothing to me. The white man ain't never suppressed me. Oh, that's some bullshit. Oh, niggas say that when they broke. When you get your money right. See, that's woke apnea. Because Kanye West told you, you just a nigga in the coop.
Pretty much.
Jay-Z and Kanye told you they was niggas out in Paris.
Yeah.
So what's your closing statements, bro?
Ooh, it's a tough act to follow. My closing statement is, when it comes to woke apnea, if you're not careful, you'll be stuck in a conscious coma. And you're asleep to the fact of everything that's happened around you. You know, the the eroding state of your family, your reputation, your resources, your opportunities, your health, everything pertaining to you, because you want to remain asleep in what you think is your reality. And this is you abusing your light. This is you allowing yourself to become a prisoner of perspective, where you're seeing everything one way because of your unchecked feelings and your perception of yourself. But when you actually wake up and see yourself for who you are and what's around you, you properly vet not just yourself, but those who are throwing information your way and seeing where they stand on it. That lets you know there's a difference between those who are out of bed versus those who are still enjoying that pea dream under the guise of prosperity, promise, pussy. It's all good when you're, on them guts in your dream. When you wake up, it's too late to realize you've been fucked with no Vaseline. That's my final thought.
Man. End the show no better than that, man. So make sure to subscribe, Foundational Manhood Podcast. Follow us over there on Instagram at Foundational Manhood Podcast as well. Shout out to my brother, the Book of Ronan.
Bro. Shout out to brother expat Matt X and his passport ministry. Shout out to his bum ass. My bad, bro.
Shout out to X-Pac Matt X.
Yeah.
But this has been episode 8.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all follow us, FMP on Instagram, also FMP on YouTube. That's Foundational Manhood Podcast. And we will catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.